Hey there everyone, this is Tails Jr. And today I'm going to start my first anime review. Doesn't it just suck that summer's starting to be over? Then next thing you know, you have to go back to high school and start doing homework and classwork and all the other school stuff that's probably going to be boring after probably the first week. Well, you know what would make it a lot more livelier? Zombies. And to top that off, for today's anime review, I'm going to talk about a new anime series that just started during the summer. Right, as of now, only has 8 episodes, but it's really good. I'm talking about High School of the Dead. Yes, no joke. High School of the Dead. The story is basically like every zombie game, movie, and I think there are maybe some TV shows or something out there. You have like a group of people, they figure out there's an infection going on, then they see the zombies, and then they try to do what they can to fight back and try to survive. But in a way, it's kind of like Left 4 Dead. Only the manga is actually made first, so in a way, kind of Left 4 Dead took it from them a little bit. But as a twist, instead of like a group of adults who don't know each other, it's actually a group of high school kids. Oh, it's like I think 5 high school kids, their nurse, a little girl, and a dog. That's about it. What I like about the anime is that, and from the manga I read, some of the manga chapters I read from it, is that it has a little bit of RPG stuff going on. Like it has, like it feels like each weapon they get, like statistics for them, info, and stats and everything. It's actually really cool and funny in a way, because some of the things would be like a crowbar, one of those metal staff like things that policemen have. You know what I mean. In any case, to make it like that, I'm going to talk about the characters, and after talking about them, I'll say like the weapon of choice. So let's start off with Komuro Takashi. By the way, I'm saying this in Japanese, saying their names in Japanese, so Takashi is actually his first name. And he's the main character of the story. Takashi was actually the first person to realize, to see like a zombie at school grounds, and once he saw it, he went to get his friends, Hizashi and Rei, who I'll talk about later on, and try to escape school before things start getting a lot more trouble. But once the principal made an announcement and everyone heard him getting killed by a zombie, well, what can I say? I'll do an imitation of what happened after that. Ah! Everybody run! Get the hell out of my way! Move it! Move it! Move it! Move it! We're all gonna die! Move! Move now! Okay, that was basically what happened. And people did not care who was in their way. They punch you, like I said, they kick you, they just run all over you if you fall. People, that just shows what will happen if zombie apocalypse starts happening. Now to get back to Takashi. He's around the story, you learn that he's basically the leader of the whole group. Though he's still trying to get the hang of it. And even though he's not much of he's not like a master with weapons, he does his best and try to adapt to everything he uses. As his weapon of choice, at first in the beginning, he uses a baseball bat, and he just basically bashed heads with that thing. And along the way, he gets other stuff too. But he also just uses things that can be used as blunt objects, really. And that's all I can say for Takashi. On to the next character. The next character is Miyamoto Rei, or Rei is her first name, just so you know. Just making sure. Um, she's actually Takashi's childhood friend and love interest. When they were kids, they actually promised each other that they would marry when they grow up. But over time, even when Takashi didn't like do anything to say that he loved her or really loved her or anything, she just stopped going to him and went to his best friend Hisashi, who I'll talk about later on in the story. Like later after Rei. She's kind of like still trying to get used to the whole new world with zombies and everything, but she kind of adapts a little quick, kind of like Takashi did, which is pretty useful for her. When it comes to her weapon of choice, she's like in their high school, she's in what they call a spear martial arts club. So she just uses anything that could be spear related. Example, at the beginning she used like a broken broom that has a sharp pointy end, and later on she gets one of those gets like a bayonet with a blade on it on the top. Okay, next character, Eiga Hisashi. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but hey. Here's a funny fact about Hisashi. He's actually not one of the main main characters. In fact, he dies in the first episode. Sorry to spoil, but yeah. Like I said before, he was Takashi's best friend, and also since he didn't do anything with Rei, she went to him. She went to Hisashi. It said you don't really see him use a weapon of choice. He says that he's a black belt in karate, but you don't really see it much. And like I said, he dies at the first episode, mostly because when they first fight their first zombie, when they fight their first zombie, he gets bitten in the arm. And like every zombie movie and video game, once you get bit, you start getting infected, yada yada yada, and then you turn into a zombie. He didn't want to just go down like that. So Takashi understood that. So he did the best thing. Takashi just did the best thing in mind. He killed him. Oh, rest in peace. Oh, you know what's kind of just a wow moment at that, right? Like after Hisashi died by Takashi, Rei went back to him, right back to the person who killed her first boyfriend. How funny! How horribly funny is that? Really? I mean, come on. If any girls are watching this, will you actually go out with the guy who killed your first boyfriend, even though he was already turned into a zombie? I want to know that. Please comment about that, please. Okay, next character. Takagi Saya. Saya's basically she doesn't like use any weapons. She's the brains of the whole group. She was the first one to actually know how the zombies work. Like for instance, she was the first to know that that they're blind and react to sounds for movements. She kind of comes off as a I can't really say it since it's not made to do it. Say it. So just to say it like this. She comes off as a female dog, and when you look at her, she tries to take at episode 2. She just takes it in real easy, but truth is, she's really afraid of all of it. Like, like she's just very vulnerable. Even though she says she's smart, and when she put her mind to it, she can handle anything. But she's really vulnerable. But when it's time to put up or shut up, she'll step in and try her best to help out the group, whether it's by brains or just help killing some zombies. I kind of like that about her. On to the next character, Hirono Kota. Hirono's basically the Japanese geek. Glasses, a little chubby, gets picked on, usual stuff. But also, but when it came to like the zombie apocalypse, he's let's just say this: if it really happens, if you find a guy like Kota, definitely let him join your group. Seriously. As for his weapon of choice, guns. Plain and simple. And let me talk about more about him with guns. You see, Kota is known as a gun otaku, or gun geek for Americans. He knows everything about guns. He knows how to use guns too. I don't mean like aerosol guns. He used like real guns. And I'm just gonna spoil this. Kota was actually in America once. Took a trip in America, and he was actually trained how to use real guns by a black water trooper. I was like, wow. And also, like, the way his family works out. It's really, even though it's supposed to be like real life for them, even they think his life is like an anime. His family is just like going all across the borders and doing cool stuff. Kind of wish you had a family like that, or just wish you could be wealthy. I kind of wish that sometimes. Well, maybe one day once I become a video game tester, I might be loaded. Please. Okay, next character. Busujima Sayako, which is like the best character in the group. She's captain of their high school's kendo team. So basically she uses swords. She uses like a bokken, which is a wooden Japanese sword at first, but then she gets a real sword later on, but I won't spoil that part. But I will say this. It turns out she's secretly a sadist. So whenever you see her smile in a fight, you can tell she's gay. So whenever you see her in a fight and she's like giving off a solemn smile, you can tell she's getting off from it. Actually, it's not really much of a spoiler since it'll probably come up in episode 9, which isn't really far now since it'll be a new one on Monday. Check it out on animelinks.net. Animelinks with a Z at the end. That's good. Alright. She's like, her family's like all with the samurai code and all with the samurai code. She goes with the samurai way, the honor, and everything. I really like her for that. And if there's anyone who's into S&M, you probably like her too. Alright. On to the next character, shall we? Yeah, I think we shall.